Ok, chicos, vamos a comenzar. Let's start. I will not speak too much in Spanish in the first class, so don't worry. That was all the Spanish probably that I will use in this class. Me llamo, well, you know that. Me llamo, my name is. Me llamo Juan Carlos Romero Díaz. Juan Carlos Romero Díaz. Just call me Señor Romero o Señor Juan. 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 No Juan. Juan. Vamos a comenzar. Let's start our class number 1. Clase número 1. Clase número 1. Introducción. Introduction. Introduction to this course, SPA 1003, Beginner Spanish. Well, lecturer's presentation. That's going to be the first thing that I will do in this class. I kind of did it, actually. Introduction to the course SPA 1003. That will be the second thing that we will do in this class. And introduction to the Spanish language. What's the difference between Spanish and English? What makes Spanish so particular? So, lecturer's presentation. That's everything basically about me. As I told you, me llamo, my name is, me llamo Juan Carlos Romero Díaz. Call me Señor Romero or Señor Juan. All of you have my WhatsApp number, 654-6993. Do not call me. Do not call me on the phone. Because I will be busy all the time. That's the reason why. You can private message me if it's something private. Or if it's something that you think that can help all your classmates, you can message me on our WhatsApp group. By the way, if there is somebody who is not in the WhatsApp group, the invitation link is on Moodle. On their announcement, the very first announcement, there you will find the invitation link to join the WhatsApp group. That is my email. juan.romero@uog.edu.gy. So, introduction to the course SPA 1003. First of all, Beginner Spanish is the name of this course. If somebody knows the European framework for the learning of languages, that has different levels, 6 levels actually. EA, E2, B1, B2, C1, C2. So you are supposed to finish with something in between E1 and E2 when we finish this course. Course that is, it will last the 2 semesters, semester 1 and semester 2. So when we finish the last class in semester 1, I will tell you, we will see it just now because after Christmas in January, we will continue classes. So this course will give you 8 credits. We will talk about that just now. In your entire program is a course that will give you more credits. This course can boost your GPA incredible. So try to make it good. Try to get A, B, or even C is good for this course. Anyhow, we have to meet, guys, 2 times every week. So it's not only today or Thursday. It's 1 second. We will meet Tuesdays and Thursdays, 4 hours every week. At the same time, this group 11 from 4 to 6, 4:15 till 6:10. But it's easy to say 4 to 6, but you know that it's not actually 4 or 6. On Tuesdays and also on Thursdays. The teaching platform. Pay attention, guys, because this is something particular. We will have Zoom meetings 1 week. Let's say this week. Next week, we will not have Zoom meetings. You will have to watch 2 videos. This week, we will have classes 1 and 2 on Zoom, but classes 3 and 4 next week, well, we are not going to meet. I will send you the links on Moodle. You will receive an email and you will have to watch those videos. Those two classes are the actual lectures, the actual classes. The other week, we are talking about classes 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. Classes 5 and 6, we will meet again on Zoom and we will practice what you watched in the YouTube video classes. It will always be like that. Zoom, YouTube, Zoom, YouTube, Zoom, YouTube. So you will have 1 week where when you will not have to be worried about being on time for classes. I am at work. My supervisor is not giving me time. I will not reach on time. No, you will not have that problem next week because you can watch the videos anytime you want. Midnight, Monday, Tuesday, Sunday, in the living room, in the bathroom, in the toilet, anywhere, at any time. That's the beauty about the YouTube videos, guys. So you don't have to be in front of me like this. You will watch your YouTube videos at the most convenient time for you. You will have 4 progressive tests. This is important. 4 tests, 4 exams. In this semester, you will have test 1 and test 2. In the second semester, you will have tests 3 and test 4. No final test. However, as you are seeing there, all the tests will be progressive, meaning that in the second test, I might ask you something that you were supposed to learn for the first test. In the fourth test, I might ask you something that you should have learned for the first, second, and third test, and so on. So basically, the last test is going to be, technically, it will not be a final test, but I can ask you things from the entire course. I mean, the highest percent of of every exam, it has only things that we study for that exam. So it's not really that in the fourth test, I will ask you everything about the previous third. But why I'm telling you this, because you have to be aware that in the fourth test, I might ask you something that you learned at the beginning of the course. You're going to say, sir, we didn't practice this for the fourth test. I will tell you, we practice for the first. This is a progressive test. But don't be that scared about that. Usually in every test, I ask you almost exclusively what we studied in that specific module. And every test will have 2 parts. Listen, pay attention, because this is very particular for this course. You are seeing test number 1, but test number 1 has 2 parts. We will do the oral part on Tuesday. The week of the exam is the entire week for exams. So this week you have, let's say, test number 1. Tuesday, you will do, sorry, I said oral, scratch that. You will do the written test on Moodle. That will be Tuesday. And Wednesday, you will do the oral test. So 50% of test 1 will be for the written on Tuesday, and the other 50% will be for the oral on Thursday. So, okay, so far, any question about what I've said? Come on, I like you to ask, guys.
No, sir.
Yeah. No? Okay. What else? What else? Oh, this SPA 1003 is an 8 credits course. I will talk about that just now. And our textbook, guys, our textbook is Dos Mundos. Well, I have it in my bookshelf. I will not stand up to. But you can find the PDF on Moodle. So go to Moodle and download the PDF. Don't print it. You don't really need to print it. Actually, when we were working face to face, that was 4 or 5 years ago. I don't remember the last time I was at UU. Well, I was at UU today actually, but not for working actually. When we used to work face to face 4 or 5 years ago, I encouraged my students to print up to Unit 6, because we used the book up to Unit 6 and something for Unit 7. And it was really convenient because it's not the same, the dynamic in classes face-to-face or online. But now that we're working online, doesn't make sense at all that you print this book. So you have something called scheme of work. Here is a sample on Moodle. Guys, to me, Moodle is like essential. I post everything on Moodle. Moodle is like, well, it's actually that, a virtual classroom. Well, I post everything on Moodle. See a sample of scheme of work that you can find on Moodle. In the scheme of work, you have the summary for every single class. See, class number, unit 5, ¿qué estudias? It's in Spanish. What do you study? Class 19, plans. I think the scheme of work is in English. I think I translated like 2 years ago. I don't remember now. I can't remember now. Anyway, if it's in Spanish, doesn't matter. Los planes, plans. Las clases, classes. El futuro con ir a, future with ir a. Los números ordinales, ordinal numbers. That is what you will study in class 19. Class 19 is what? Go to the right, YouTube. So that week is YouTube. But the other week, you guys are going, you will have classes 21 and 22. And class number 21 will be unit 5, review number 1, vocabulary and grammar. Class 22 will be unit 5, review number 2, oral expression. Those will be Zoom classes. So if you lose the track, you go to the scheme of work and you will see if this week is YouTube or is Zoom. Timetable. Let me see. Well, this is a timetable for the 2 groups that I have this year. I usually have 4 groups, but it was too much actually, and I have 4 core courses. Core courses are these specific courses for students who are doing a bachelor degree in Spanish, like history of Spanish language, Spanish literature, literature of the Spanish Golden Age, Spanish dialectology. Those are the core courses that I teach for students who are doing the bachelor in Spanish. So plus 4 of these beginner courses, that was honestly too much. So this year I have 2 courses only. Not 2 courses, 2 groups. Group 11 and group 7. You guys are group 11 from 4 to 6, Tuesdays and Thursdays. And if there is somebody, I don't think so, but if there is somebody from group 7 here, it's same Tuesdays and Thursdays, but after group 11. So from 6 to 8. So that is a timetable. By the way, if you're in group 11, like officially enrolled in group 11, but for whichever reason that week, you cannot attend from 4 to 6, feel free to attend from 6 to 8. At the end of the class, when I call that's in the Army, call the roll. When I mark your names, you tell me, sir, I am Mahindra Singh. This is the person who is behind me. That's why I'm using your name. I am Mahindra Singh from group 11. Please, sir, mark my name in group 11. So, and that's totally okay. You could actually attend classes with other lecturers, but I don't really have control. I mean, in Spanish we say, cada maestro tiene su librito. Like every master or every teacher has their own book, meaning that their own ways, their own method. So feel free to attend classes with another lecturer, but if I am doing class number 31 this week, probably the other lecturer is doing class 28 or 35. So I have control over that. So point I'm trying to make, you can attend classes with other lecturers, but I don't have control over what other lecturers will do. Same thing, they don't have control over what I do, and they don't know what I am doing actually. We're supposed in the same week teaching the same class, but I don't know, I can be teaching 2 classes ahead or 2 classes behind, and nothing wrong with that. So you could attend classes with another lecturer, but have to be aware that I don't have control over what that other lecturer is doing. Oh, well, these are the dates of the exam for the entire academic year. Well, actually, you have to take a quick note. This is in the scheme of work, actually. In semester 1, test 1 will be the 29, this is group 11, right? The 29th of October and the 31st of October. 29, the written, that's a Tuesday. 31st, the oral, that's the written. Test number 2, 3 and 5 of December. Same, written, oral. In semester 2, you will have test 3 and 4. I cannot say tests. I cannot pronounce tests, the plural. Anyhow, tests 3 and 4. Test 3, 11 and 13 of March. And test 4, 29 and 1st of 29th April, 1st of May. See that 31st of October, that they could change. That's a holiday. And May the 1st, that's Labor Day. That they could change. Let's see what we decide. One thing at a time, one day at a time. We say in Spanish, un día a la vez, one day at a time. So let's see when the time reach what we do. Can I move to the next slide?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Say sí, señor. It's easy. Start saying this in Spanish, guys. Sí, everybody knows sí. And señor, everybody knows señor. Sí, señor. You don't have to roll the R, actually. You don't have to say R con R, cigar. Because if I say sorry, I'm not using the English R, but you totally understand that I meant sorry. So Indians will say sorry, not with the same R that you use. They actually roll the R like us, Spanish people. And you totally understand what they say. So don't be crazy about rolling. Every time that I say, my main goal in life is rolling the R. People who are studying Spanish. Hi, do I pronounce perfect English? And I want to believe that you kind of understand 90% of what I say. Actually, if you don't, if I'm going too fast, please actually speak very fast in Spanish too, when I'm speaking Spanish. So tell me, sir, slow down a little bit, please. Don't be shy. Because if you don't tell me, I don't know. This is group 7, but you are not group 7. So look, this is what you, unfortunately, the only thing most of you care about. You know this, if you get between 75 and 100%, you finish with A. But then there is something, those in first year, probably you don't know yet what points are. Probably you know what is credit. You've heard the word credit, but you don't know anything about points. Find it out. Find it out because you need the points and you need the credits to calculate your GPA. Maybe some of you don't know what GPA is actually. Find it out because you will need it. Those who are in second or third year or fourth year know what I'm talking about. I want to believe so. So if you finish, any course with A, you have to multiply the amount of credits by 4. So this course has 8 credits. So if you finish with A, 8 by 4, you have 32 points. Your GPA, is like a rocket. In any course, if you finish with B, you have to multiply the credits that that course has, 3, 4, 5, 10, 8, whatever, by 3. So this course has 8 credits, 8 by 3, 24. So if you finish with C, you will have 16 points, 8 if you finish with D, and 0, obviously. I don't want to think of any of you finishing with F. No. None of you will finish with F. So that's the thing, but focus on the A. 32 points, guys. Your GPS reach the moon. That's something that we say in Spanish. Llega a la luna. If you finish with A this course. Not gonna be easy though. Just do your work and you will finish with A or B. Or even C is good, guys. D, okay, could be worse, but up to C is okay for me. B is like perfect. A is like the ideal dream. And just to finish this first part of the class, the course outline is on Moodle. The scheme of work is on Moodle. And this is the link to the textbook Dos Mundos, which is on Moodle too. Everything is on Moodle. So questions? Don't be shy. So let's put it in the worst way, worst scenario. They pay me for answer your questions. That's the worst thing that I could have said. Go ahead, Z. Z, Z. I don't know. I wouldn't know how to pronounce most of your names, guys. Sorry about that. Go ahead.
Buenas tardes, buenas tardes.
Buenas tardes.
That's the only thing I know, sir.
Unbelievable. Okay, go ahead.
Yeah.
That's
How are
okay.
you?
We are here to learn. I'm fine. Are you?
Good, good, good. So the name is Zach. Let me change my name because it's actually the
Like
wrong thing here. Zach.
Z-A-C?
Z-A-C-K. Z-A-C-K. Zach. Yeah. Zach and Cody.
Wait. What's the last name? Your title?
Effendi. E-F-F-E-N-D-I. I changed my name there, sir. Sorry. Effendi.
Oh, but you are in group. I'm seeing group 7. Sorry.
Yeah. I remember.
Yeah, I saw it already. 1036073, right?
Correct.
Okay.
Right. And sorry, I was the person who asked about interchanging because actually I have a class at
Oh,
5. So sometimes I'm gonna join at 6. So I'm gonna try to alternate as
no
much
problem. No problem
as I
at all.
can, right?
No problem
Good.
at
So
all.
my question is, because I just joined, how will our exams be conducted? The tests be conducted in person, on campus, or online?
Well, the question can be very easy, and I can tell you that is online because I'm 99.9% sure that it's going to be online. But every year, in every faculty meeting, in my faculty, Faculty of Education of Humanity and Humanities, we talk about going back to campus at least not for teaching, for the exams. But in the last faculty meeting, we were discussing that, but the decision so far is conducting the exams online, because there is a thing. If I tell you right now, at the point that we are talking, that exams are going to be online, I cannot tell you tomorrow, hey guys, next week we have exams on campus. So we are not supposed to do that. That's why I'm telling you that I'm 99.9% sure that the 4 exams, the 2 exams this semester and the other 2 exams in the next semester are going to be online. But there is a 0.1% of possibilities, guys, that I tell you. I will tell you like 2 weeks in advance. So you can, guys, let's say an example, this exam number 3 is going to be on campus. But that's not likely. However, this is a great question, Zach. I'm really happy you have raised this. You have to be ready for doing at least exam number 4. That's going to be, anybody wrote the date, guys? Exam number 4. Oh, right here. April, May. So be ready to do that exam on campus. It's not likely that it's going to be on campus, but nothing like being psychologically ready. Okay, guys? So we are still in the limbo. That's why I cannot give you a straightforward answer. Go ahead.
Sir, there's an error here on your image for test 4.
Yeah. It's supposed to be 25. Yeah. Sorry, I will change that.
Great, no problem.
Thank you for letting me know. Let me change that.
So while you're doing that, sorry, because again I just joined. Based on what I'm seeing and what you said earlier, it therefore means that we have 4 tests overall for this year-long course.
Correct.
And not 4 this semester and 4 next. It's 4 across the year.
Well, technically you will have 4 this semester and 4 the other semester, because every exam has 2 parts, oral and written.
Okay. I see.
It's only one exam, but the exam has 2 parts. So technically you will have 4 exams, but in the reality you will be doing 8, because for 4 exams you have to do oral and written. Okay?
See.
So, Zach, and the rest of you, I'm really sorry that I cannot answer that question if the exams are going to be online, so face-to-face, because nobody knows anything so far, so everybody's in the limbo. I can assure you that test number 1 and 2 are going to be online, but 3 and 4 in the second semester, I cannot tell you. I cannot really tell you. I would prefer all the exams to be online, if you ask me. Actually, in every
we
faculty
agree too.
meeting, whenever ask me, they ask us to all the lecturers. Some prefer doing the exams in camp. I don't know. Well, everybody has reasons for everything. I always say, well, to me, if you ask me, I prefer face to face. Sorry, I prefer online, but whatever the majority decides. So, any more questions, Zach?
No, sorry, you pretty much cleared up everything here.
Okay,
Thank you.
you're welcome. Joel, must tell me how to pronounce your name.
Well,
Joel Britton, Joel Maloma Britton.
yes, sir.
104366. You are in year 2, I guess?
Pardon me?
You are in year 2.
Group
Second
2?
year. Second year.
Oh, yes, sir.
Yeah, because your USI is 104. Okay, go ahead.
Sir, my question is pertaining to the textbook. The
Dos
textbook,
mundos.
when we download it, it have the English and Spanish translation side by side.
Uh,
Because
yeah, actually, all the grammar is explained in Spanish. Sorry, in English. In English. And at the end of every chapter, for every word that is presented, introduced in that unit, all the words are in English and Spanish. So let me see. No, Spanish and then English. So unit number, I don't know, number 3. Parts of the house. Just an example. I'm parts of the house. I think it's one of the last units, but let's say unit number 3, parts of the house. So at the end of that unit, you will see vocabulary, vocabulario, and you will see casa on the right, house, ventana on the right, window, and so on. So all the words at the end of every unit are in English and Spanish.
okay, thank you.
Welcome, you. Otra pregunta? Zach, lower your hand. I mean, if you don't have another question. Zach, lower your hand if you don't have another question. Otra pregunta, chicos? Another question?
Sir, this is a not so much a question, but a concern, a personal one. For somebody like me, like right now, I have embraced it, and I feel like sometimes it affects my speech. So in terms for the oral, how hard do you mark? Like, are you an aggressive marker, or are you like, okay, if one there's effort there, and it makes it
Well,
fun?
I cannot
Because
really.
I can't speak proper English, but that's a good learn Spanish. I'm just playing with you, but it's okay.
Okay. Well, guys, for the oral exams, I have a rubric. The rubric has vocabulary. So meaning that if I ask you, I don't know, ¿de qué color es tu? This question can sound very complicated now, but after we study this, it's going to be very easy. ¿De qué color es tu carro? What color is your car? ¿De qué color es tu carro? You tell me, mi casa, my house, mi casa es verde. My house is green. Well, I'm not asking about your house, I'm asking about your car. So you have vocabulary problems there. So for that question, I will deduct points in that specific aspect, vocabulary. But you said, mi casa es verde. That was a nonsense according to what I asked you. But your pronunciation was smooth, nice. So you have the maximum for pronunciation. Let's say that you didn't say mi casa es verde. You said mi casa son verde. My house are green. So you have a grammatical mistake. I will deduct points for grammar because grammar is the other aspect that I have in the rubric. Vocabulary, pronunciation, grammar. I also have, there is another aspect in pronunciation that is fluency. If you said, mi ca, mi ca, Mi casa es mi fluency. So your fluency is nil. So I will deduct points for fluency. And the last aspect, because I told you that it's 5, is interaction. When I ask you what color is your car, I will expect you to ask me back something like, ¿cómo que se quemó? Bueno, quítalo, desconéctalo. Ok. Ok. ¿De qué color es su carro? I expect you to ask me back. Y usted, profesor, and your own, sir, interaction is the other aspect that I will consider in the oral exam. Or to tell me in Spanish, it is absolutely okay if you tell me, señor, repita, por favor, repeat, please. But not sir, repeat, please. If you tell me that, I will repeat. But in interaction, you don't have any mark. So everything that you tell me in the exam should be in Spanish. I tell you, buenas tardes. You will be nervous, but I'm expecting to hear, buenas tardes, señor. ¿Cómo está usted? How are you? I tell you, muy bien, David. Muy bien, Jewel. Muy bien, Zach. And, okay, vamos a comenzar. Let's start. Okay, not okay, okay. Okay, señor. Okay, señor. No hay problema. Things like that. So, pronunciation, vocabulary, pronunciation, grammar, fluency, and interaction. Those are the 5 aspects that I will consider in the oral exam. Zach, that answer, I mean, you have another concern? And how hard I will be? Well,
no,
you must understand that I cannot tell you how hard I will be. You will see by yourself. Well, if you want to have references, I've been teaching at UG like for ages, so you can ask any previous students and you will know. Just I'm making. David, go ahead. In Spanish, in Spanish you say David. David. Go ahead, David.
Sir, how many points do we lose per error?
Sorry?
How many points do we lose for error in the oral?
Well, David, depends.
No, like for error, how many points do you take off?
I do a holistic marking of the oral exam. I mean, like an overall.
Okay, sir.
That would be very hard to answer because I cannot tell you if you stammer one time, I will deduct this. If you go, I mean, your speed is 25 words per minute, I will, because that's very subjective, guys. I'm not an unfair person. So not in the real life, not as a lecturer. So if you make mistake, you didn't do your work, I have to deduct marks. That's my work, period. But I mean, usually I will not be unfair. Okay, David?
Thank you, sir.
Un placer. Karim?
So I want to know what's the pass rate for
the what?
Like the pass rate for this course.
Speak slowly, Karim. Remember that.
Sorry.
No. I was saying your connection is unstable. So if I had spoken, you would have. Go ahead. Yeah, Karim, go ahead.
Sorry,
no,
in general.
Sorry, can you repeat? Because I've heard, I haven't heard you properly none of the 3 times that you've tried to tell me something. Sorry, go ahead. What's the passing?
Sorry, sir. Yeah. So what's the pass rate for this course?
What do you mean the pass rate? what's the minimum percent of marks that you need to pass the course? That's what you mean, Karim? The minimum percent of marks that
No,
you
sir.
need
You're
to...
trying to ask the amount of people passing the class a year.
Like normally.
Like 40% of the student pass, 50%
I can answer that. That's it. That, yeah. I mean, there's not a rule for that. I don't have like to have a certain amount of student if for I don't know, for having a promotion or something. Every I never expected to. Every year is different. Every year is different. Normally myself, well, actually, I'm not supposed to tell you that, but how many F I have every year? I would say like 5, 6 out of 100. But that's something you shouldn't study. So don't study that since the very beginning. Oh my God. You don't have to be worried, Karim.
All right, sir. Gracias.
Un placer, Karim. Another question before I move on? Okay. Introducción al idioma. Karim and Zach, lower your hands. That gets me nervous seeing the hands raised. Introducción al... Ariel.
Hi, sir. Buenas tardes, señor.
Buenas tardes. I was wondering if I was almost sure that you were a girl, but last year, the other year, I had an Ariel who was a boy. That's why to me, Ariel is not a female name anymore. So I was very cautious to tell you, my dear, just in case you were a boy. Okay, go ahead, my dear.
Yes, sir. Like pertaining to us answering questions in Spanish, for example, if you say de qué color es tu carro, and I just say rojo, do I get like some marks at least?
Por supuesto.
If not full marks?
No, you will get the full marks. The ideal thing is that you say, mi carro es rojo, my car is red. But if you tell me rojo in Spanish, I will not be happy. But I most likely, I will give you full marks for that.
Okay, sir. Gracias, señor.
Un placer, un placer.
One last question, sir.
Zach, go ahead.
Yes. Do you have like a 5 marks somewhere hidden there, like for participation in class on interaction as well?
Sorry, say that.
Bonus mark.
Oh, bonus marks.
Do you have like a 5 marks like somewhere for class interaction and stuff like that?
That's hard to answer, we'll figure it out on the way. We will figure it out. I cannot answer the question, right now at this point, because that depends on many factors. Okay? Zach? So let me continue, guys. Introduction to Spanish language. Well, these are the 10 most spoken languages in the world. That was for 2023, 2023. See, Spanish is the third most spoken language in the world. If it wasn't by Chinese, which is spoken basically in one country only, or for Hindi, which is spoken basically in one country only, but countries that are huge, if it wasn't for Chinese and Hindi, Spanish would be the second most spoken language in the world, obviously after English. So you speak English and Spanish, you can talk to more than half of the population of this world. If you are in the Bronx and you don't speak Spanish, you can communicate to anybody basically. Because in America, actually, the United States of America has 300 million persons, but 1 out of 5 persons who live in America speak Spanish only, not English. 1 out of 5. 1 out of 7 Americans can speak Spanish and English at the same time. They are bilinguals in America, especially in New York. I would say that, well, right now that would be interesting. I've never like researched this. I can do that like right now. 1 second. What % of persons speak English in New York City? Oh my God, 51%. Half of the population of persons who live in New York speak Spanish. Equally has to be, especially Bronx and Brooklyn, those places. So the reasons to learn Spanish, blah, 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 blah. If you live in Guyana, guys, I have a friend Guyanese who said, you guys are invaders, conquerors, because right now, 1% of the Chinese population is Portuguese and Chinese, and 1% only, but 4% are Hispanics. So there are more Hispanics here, which is a 4%, than Portuguese or Chinese. So statistics can vary depending on the source. So I can be using certain source and another source shows otherwise. But the point is that you are reading a street guide and it's like New York. Basically, 1 up to 2 persons speak Spanish. You are surrounded by Spanish-speaking countries. Well, let's not mention Brazil, Suriname, or French Guyana. They speak Portuguese, Dutch, or French. But if you take out those 3 countries, all the other countries in South America, which are 9 countries, speak Spanish. Well, that was all the time, but you guys didn't really have contact to those Spanish countries like back in the days. But right now, the Spanish countries are here in Guyana. So basically Venezuelans, and not too many Cubans, mostly Venezuelans. Well, like 2-3 years ago, Cubans were all around because our U.S. embassy was closed in Havana. So we had to come to here for the family reunification process, visa F2 and so on. But now the embassy was reopened in Havana and you don't see too many Cubans on the roads. Persons like me who decided to fall in love with this country and settle down here. Yes, there's a difference. I mean, normally when persons say Latino, they think of Spanish-speaking persons. However, Latinos are persons who belong to one of the countries that speak one of the languages that come from Latin. Which are the countries in this continent that come from, in the Americas that come from Latin? Spanish, French, and Portuguese. So Brazilians, even persons don't see Brazilian like Latinos, they are as Latinos as me because they speak a language that comes from Latin. Haitians, person from Haiti, I cannot pronounce the name of the country, Haiti, they are Latinos too because they speak French, a language that comes from Latin. But when persons say Latinos, they automatically think of Spanish speakers, but that's not really true. Portuguese speakers and French speakers are also Latinos. I don't see persons from Quebec in Canada, though they speak French, like Latinos. The Latinos are, I would say that live like below Mexico, persons speak Spanish, Portuguese, or French, but below Mexico. Yeah, because I don't see Canadians who speak French like Latinos. They don't have anything to do with us, really. Now that you answered that question, you guys call us Spanish, and that's not technically correct. You guys are English because you speak English. No, you are not English. English are persons who were born in England. Actually, persons who were born in Scotland, they are not even English. English are only persons who were born in England. So if you were born in London, you are English. If you were born in Georgetown, then in New Amsterdam, or Port Spain, you are not English, though English is your first language. Well, that the first language in Guyana is complicated, but I will not go into technicalities right now. Yeah, because of technically the official language in Guyana is the Creole, but I will not go to those details. That's not my place. So we are not Spanish. We are Hispanic. Hispanic. Hispanics. Hispanics. Actually, in America, they call us Hispanics, not Spanish. The fact that my mother language, my first language is Spanish, don't make me Spanish because I was not born in Spain. So Cubans are not Spanish. We are Hispanics. Venezuelans are not Spanish. They are Hispanics. Mexicans are not Spanish. They are Hispanic. But everybody calls us, at least here in Guyana or in the entire Caribbean, Spanish. So even sometimes I say, yes, I am Spanish. Though technically I am not Spanish because I was not born in Spain. Hispanic is the actual term for persons who speak Spanish. But everybody will continue calling us Spanish, so I will not change the word. I always say that. So blah, 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 blah. Yeah, that's basically why you should learn Spanish. Some boys are in the hope to gain the heart of some pretty Spanish girl. Well, you know how to gain her heart, learn a little bit of Spanish. Well, motivations. We say in Spanish, how you say this in English? The end justify the meanings. Something like that we say in Spanish. So these are all the countries that speak Spanish in the entire world. 21 countries speak Spanish like officially. Spanish is the official language in 21 countries. 19 countries in the Americas and 2 countries outside the Americas. Which are those 21 countries? In North America, Mexico. Central America, 6 countries. I will pronounce it in Spanish. Costa Rica, El Salvador, Guatemala, Honduras, Nicaragua, Panama. In the Caribbean, there are 3 Spanish-speaking countries. Cuba, not Q, Cuba, my connection was unstable again. So, Cuba, República Dominicana, DR, República Dominicana y Puerto Rico. In South America, Argentina, Bolivia, Chile, Colombia, Ecuador, Paraguay, Perú, Uruguay, Venezuela. And outside the Americas, 2 countries, Equatorial Guinea, Guinea Equatorial in Africa. We have a country which official language is Spanish in Africa. Their accents, they sound just like, it's a mixture between Spanish from Spain with some Africa. They have a really, really particular, nice, I love the accent of a person from Equatorial Guinea when they speak Spanish. And where everything started is Spain. Mi corazón, well, that's a good start. Yeah, those are the countries that speak Spanish, guys, all around the world. Well, you have some maps here. Nice, beautiful, blah, blah, blah. This class was not meant to be long. So, tarea. Tarea, this is a word that you will hate. Means homework. Well, technically, actually it means task. But like when you say homework, we say tarea in Spanish. Tarea. Please, you can write down this. Are you familiar with any Spanish word? Kindly list 3. Well, I know that Karin knows buenas tardes, mi corazón. So I'm counting 4. Additionally, introduce yourself in Spanish. Easy. Me llamo Juan. That's it. You don't need more for the beginning. So, well, if you encounter familiar words, use Google, Google Translate, blah, blah, blah. So, chicos, that was everything for today. Anytime that what is it called the role? That I'm going to mark your names, must say, please, presente or aquí. Aquí means here. Presente means present.